Hello. My epiphany of learning for this semester was when I went to the Assistive Technologies Quest at Felmy Hall. I found it super interesting and intriguing, all of the different resources that were shown to us and how knowledgeable the instructor was on the content. The tool that I found the most interesting was the different Google apps that anyone can download for free on their Google account, and they can be accessed on any computer, which is another great benefit. I also found it really interesting because I was doing my clinicals in a classroom that had 9 students with IEPs and 504s. And so I found some of these tools to be super helpful for students who are not good at typing or need a little extra help in their writing. So there was an app that you could download that would take a recording and turn it into a typed paper of what students had said verbally. So that was a really interesting tool. There also was a tool that took a web page and took away all of the clutter, which I thought would even be helpful for me because sometimes it is very distracting when there's a bunch of advertisements and other headings going on a website. So you could apply this to a page and it would help a student focus. I also found the Rewordify really interesting, where you plug in a paragraph or some text and it turns the vocabulary into simple language. I actually used that in one of my lessons for clinicals for the Equal Pay Act of 1963. And some of the legal language was kind of hard for the students to understand, but once I put it into the Rewordify, it was easier for us to digest and look a little closer at. So I found all those tools really helpful. And I also found it really interesting, the different pencil grips. Some of them I had a really hard time understanding how someone would even use because they were so uncomfortable, but that was another tool that I thought was really interesting. This was the first time that I had ever been introduced to any assistive technology in this format, so I found it really helpful, and I think it should be a requirement because these are things that you will use in a classroom because you're going to have to make accommodations no matter what. So knowing about them now is more beneficial because then you can use them and have practice and be comfortable with them. So I found all of that really interesting. Some other things I really like throughout the semester is that I was trying new technology that I would not have tried unless I took this class. I had a lot of fun making a Padlet for the first time, and I also was able to incorporate that in my clinicals. I'm really glad I did my clinicals while I was taking this class also because I used a lot of things I was learning in my clinicals, or I used the content of my clinicals for the quest. So that was very beneficial and I found that very helpful. I also had never created a blog before, and I made a blog on Blogspot, I think, and my clinical teacher actually looked at it and said that she would think about using that next year for her class to create their own blogs because she liked it so much. So I was able to collaborate with her a lot about the resources I was learning about in class, so we could actually put those into use in the field, which I love seeing the connection between what I was actually learning and using it, because I feel like for the past 3 years I've just been learning things and I haven't actually got to use them. So my big epiphany of learning was actually implementing the things that I was being taught and being able to see if they were beneficial or not. So I learned a lot this semester, and that's my epiphany of learning. Thanks.